applicant apprentice out there just talking. What about what job is it?
Great job.
So, coming to work?
So then this morning I got up like.
Yeah, it's a quick show.
I was walking out.
Okay, last week.
Saw the mayor yelling at me. I guess there was just a lack of coordination between the campaign and the platform. Sure. I think it's great. I'm glad he came through.
Yeah, my wife must follow him on Facebook because she says that's not happening. So I don't know why, but.
In my head, and I never sent it to her. Yes.
Like I was telling
I
Rick.
remember like taking this off and taking this off, and then everything else was just kind of like.
Attention. It's high noon, and we call the meeting to order. If everyone will please rise and take the pledge allegiance to the flag. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. So, Beth, would you please call the roll?
Anthony.
Here.
Ann Baum. Ronald Brooks.
Here.
Frank Fasciano.
Here.
Don Gottschall. Ricky Gower.
Here.
Justin Grimshaw.
Here.
John Hayes.
Here.
Ron Heckman. Larry Hemberger.
Here.
James Irwin.
Here.
Glenn Riebman.
Present.
Michael Sturchick.
Here.
Jonathan Strauss.
Here.
Christopher Worley. We have a quorum.
Thank you. Any public comment?
No, sir.
Any public comment? We'll go to the approval of the minutes of the October 1st, 2024 meeting. I'll have a motion to approve the minutes. Second? Any additions or corrections to the minutes? Seeing none, all in favor of approval of the minutes? The minutes have been approved, and we go to our secretary treasurer, excuse me, Frank.
Thank you. Why don't you give us the report, Todd?
Thank you. Good afternoon, everybody. Everybody. All right, went through 3/4 of the year here. Always start off with our traffic. As you can see there, it says our second best traffic since '04 on a year-to-date basis. On a 12-month basis, rolling 12, we did go over 1 million, so that's something to be celebratory about. Obviously, that includes some of the bus traffic, but good numbers. Comparing ourselves to all airports, you can see the seats are kind of right in line there, but again, we use a lot more of our throughput than the average of all airports, more than double that number there. And the same thing kind of holds true on the peer average. Our seats are a little bit better than the peer average, but more than double again on the throughput. Bringing down the month of September, this is a positive net income of 76K. You can see there without, and that's without CARES. We have no CARES drawn since earlier this year. We're not drawing anymore for the rest of this year. We had a budgeted number, pretty robust number of 295,000 negative, and you can see that last year we had a really good month of September. Seeing where we are year to date without CARES down there, we're 2.6-ish, give or take a little bit there. You can see again ahead of where we expected to be for the budget, and a little less than where we were last year as far as net income wise. Breaking that down for the 9 months, this is Frank's favorite chart. 9 out of the 9 months so far this year, we've had positive net income without CARES and miscellaneous income. This is actually more in line with what we do on a 10-year basis. So if you look at us over the last 10 years, even including CARES, we've had positive net income every year except for what without CARES. Obviously, CARES is a recent phenomenon, but the only year that we actually lost money was 2020. So even if you look at it from a grand scale, you know, I mean, we were really proactive when we did CARES when COVID hit, and even if we didn't get the stimulus money, the next year we would have actually made a positive net income between in 2 years. So we recouped the money in 2021 that we lost in 2020 without any CARES money. So it just shows that we were on track. And even in our budget, we talked about this. You can look at the video from last week if you want to see what we talked about, where we are on the budget-wise. But we're using this money strategically, buying some things that we wouldn't normally be able to do, some of the demolition, some of those things. So we're really using it strategically. And if you go back to 2021, when we did that budget amendment, it was like in August. And from the last 3 months of 2021 and 22 were probably our best 15 months ever of net income for a 15-month period. Now, things have cooled down some since then. That's why we're pulling back the throttle a little bit. But at this point, we're where we want to be at this point. All that catching up and ramping up has kind of put us where we wanted to be in spite of COVID at this point. So we should all feel good about the fact that we made lemonade out of lemons when COVID hit. So that's good stuff for us to think about as a board and staff and all of us together working together. Breaking down some of the large budget variances here, we start here. The big numbers on the personnel, mainly on the benefit side. We talked about some of the stuff that we do with our self-funding and budgeting the maximum. And obviously, we got a little bit better than what we budgeted at the end of last year with some of our rebate money. So that helps us out a lot on the personnel. But again, it's just trying to manage. Some of this is timing. And for us, just for keep us all in line, when we do our budgets, you'll see this even when we talk about this next month. Our goal is not to make as much money as possible, right? As an organization, our goal is to be self-sufficient. So we want to make money, but obviously we're not here to make as much money as possible. We're going to put our money back into the resources, rebuilding the airport, into our staff, into our infrastructure. So, you're never going to see us make $100 million. That's just not what we're doing. We're supposed to be self-sufficient. Obviously, we want to make a net income, but if it's too much, that means we're not doing something. So it's always kind of a sweet spot there. And then breaking down where we are, again, you can kind of see versus last year, some pretty robust numbers, 13% on personnel, non-personnel up 6%. Some of those are probably back end that we might see toward the later part of this year. And then breaking it down with our estimated cash on hand, we actually got the final number yesterday after we went through our rates and charges with our consultant. That number is going to be a couple $100 less than we have there, around 77, 150 is somewhere around there. So we're really close on that early estimate on the budgeted days cash on hand. But you can kind of see where we are, and that number kind of goes down. And we did talk about putting in some potential additional debt service in that number of 100K as kind of an artificial number that we have in there starting in November to anticipate the refunding that we're going to have in the end of next year and potentially some additional funds as well. So we just kind of put a 100K placeholder in there just to start thinking about it. It's obviously not a real number, and it does in fact the cash. But again, it's just to keep our eye on the fact that our debt service will change at the end of next year. And any questions? I must have did a good job. Everybody's doing a good job.
A motion to accept the finance report. Mike, second. Any other discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, I'll entertain a motion for approval of our bylaw amendments. So, do I have a second? Are there any questions? Any points of order for the bylaw amendments? If not, we'll just take the vote. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Approved. Mr. Tom, Director's report.
All right, thank you, Mr. Chair. Again, September, about a 5% increase in our passenger traffic. As we look with October wrapping up here, nationally, October traffic, month over month, we look at October of last year was up about 1%. Looking at our traffic through the checkpoint, our throughput to date in October is currently flat. Not surprising, however, that we had 22 canceled flights as a result of Hurricane Milton. So certainly an impact. 22. As we look into November, our scheduled seats are up about 4.2%. Nationally, we're looking at 1.4% increase. So again, scheduled seats continuing to trend upward. Since our last board meeting on October 1st, October 7th through the 11th, we had Fire Prevention Awareness Week. Had our fire team out in the gate concourse with some information and a table, well received by the travelers. October 12th, we had our second annual Special Olympics plane pull with Special Olympics of Pennsylvania. 17 teams participated. I think, Justin, you were one of them.
We were one of them.
Excellent.
Did you win, Justin?
You're 4 seconds slower than last year. Hey, for the record, I didn't pull this year.
Cut the recording.
I didn't pull this year,
There
I'm
you
just
go.
saying. That might have been the difference.
That
At
explains.
least 10 seconds.
So to date, they've raised over $50,000 on the event. You can still contribute to Special Olympics of PA through the rest of the year. So a great event. October 14th, we hosted Northampton Area School District. We had 17 teachers during their retreat here. Took them on a tour of the facilities, spoke to them a little bit about what happens here. I think it's always great to get the local schools in. On the 17th of October, we had Passenger Appreciation Day out on the concourse. A lot of our advertisers were here, our concessionaires, lots of free handouts. It was really great to see all the activity out in the concourse for sure. The 22nd through the 25th, we had our most recent TSA pre-check open enrollment. Processed 248 people, but not Tony. I guess we're going to work on that. So we almost got there. And
I thought he did come to it.
yeah, I think he needed to have some additional documentation or something. So yeah, so we'll work on that. October 22nd, we also had a Fear Flying seminar. Another 12 people participated through that. Great feedback. We're looking to get our next one on the schedule for January. And in terms of upcoming events, November 1st is a Friday. We'll be at George Wolfe Elementary School in Northampton Area School District for their Career Day. We'll also be at a Career Day at the Lehigh Valley Academy Regional Charter School on November 13th. And then 2 events in December. One is December 7th, Shop with an Airport Cop. We'll be doing that at Target again this year. So exciting to get back to that. And December 14th is our North Pole flight, if you've been to one of those. So 15 families participating in that from the Miracle League of the Lehigh Valley. So excited to get that event.
So, I'm sorry, not dream come true anymore?
So we try to rotate every year, Frank. We try to look at a different charity organization to support each year. Yeah. But that concludes my report, Mr. Chair. If there's any questions. I'm
Any
happy to
questions
answer
for the executive? Okay, Madam Solicitor?
Thank you, Mr. Chair. I really don't have much of a report, just have ongoing leasing matters that we're dealing with, and then I will defer to executive session and update regarding the connector project.
Any new business? Seeing none? Take a motion.
Well, that was pretty quick. I have a quick question on the new business.
Oh, you have new business?
I think it's new business. I don't know if it would be for Todd or Tom, but with, Walz came in, Harris came in, Trump came in. Do they pay landing fees? What happens when they come here?
Take that.
They do pay landing fees.
They do pay, so it's like,
They
say
pay landing fees, they pay handling fees, they pay as much as we can possibly find a way to charge them.
Actually pay it.
Yeah, well, usually.
Usually.
That's a good follow-up
Yeah, 'cause it's obviously, it's
Hillary, but
it's the campaign, so even if it's the, and obviously none of them are the sitting president, so it's the campaigns that are paying.
cool. Okay, I just wondered. That's all I had.
A good question. We've had a lot of those flights.
Yeah, a lot of them coming in.
Yeah.
I'm not done yet.
One coming in today.
Yeah.
Almost like we're important.
Oh, that's what I wanted to know. Thank you.
Okay. A motion for executive session.
So moved.
Second? Mr. Brooks?